Hey guys, it's Woolsey. Welcome back to the review series. I'm going to start powering through a lot of episodes of this series, so be sure to request levels you'd like to see. Alright, we're kicking the review series off again with Valen by Vsbl. Right, so we've got some nice theming here with the hearts. They're copy pasted. However, these red hearts are the perfect colour because it creates that great contrast between the blue in the background and the quite saturated red in the hearts. And it looks good because it ties in with the background but not into the background. So these two elements look different while keeping the theme consistent, which I like. There's some slight movement when the blocks are touched, however it's quite choppy, and I think it could be a lot smoother considering it's quite a slow song and it's quite a slow section. The saws, they're just completely basic. They don't look bad, they look nice with the level as a whole. However, once you actually look at what the saw actually is, it's really boring and it doesn't fill up the space properly. Like there's all this space up here and up here that could be filled with just structures, with spikes. I don't know, anything other than these saws just to fill the space, because it's not interesting enough. This pulse right here is amazing, and it's only used once in this section, so why not keep this effect and copy paste it throughout some of the other structures and vary it a bit with some colour so it's a bit more atmospheric, because at the moment the level's looking quite static even with the movement of the blocks. Also, I just want to point out that this background is not enough. The level is still far too simple, and since this is just a blue background with glow overlaying the top, I think that these hearts in the background could have some masking with the blue background to make them more interesting and not just make them static and slow moving. Because look, there's just nothing. This entire rectangle right here is just filled with nothing. So it would be great if these hearts had something to look at while you're going through, so it's not as empty. But yeah, the block design is non-existent as well. It's just a light block that fades off at the bottom, which I like. I like that some of the structures are longer than others, but it's just not enough to the structures. I like that these platforms are mixed up. However, all of these platforms are the same kind of structure. There could be some blocks that extend all the way down the bottom, or I don't know, some that are held up by chains. I don't know, just a bit of variation in the blocks. Also, while we're on the topic of variation in blocks, these glow pieces on the edges are just very standard and just cut off at the sides, but if there was some glow corner pieces, it could vary the structure a bit, in my opinion, just to make that each block look a little bit different from each other, because all of these blocks are literally just copy pasted and made very, very simply. The easings of these blocks could be improved a bit, in my opinion, because they just sort of stop. They could move all the entire time that they're on the screen, but instead they just move on and then don't move again, which is quite boring. And then there's this transition, which is I'm just not even gonna go into that. I like this ship section though. It has some nice ideas. These arrows, I'll show you. These arrows are used right here, and then for the entire ship section. Where they went? Why are they not? Where have they gone? I must say, I like the switch up from hearts, and it's got music notes, but yet again the masking could be, some sort of masking could be done. But for this section there's some really nice custom deco, like these saws look quite nice, and they tie in nicely with these stems, I guess. Also these spokes look quite nice. These blocks do not look good. I feel as if these bricks could be set like different groups and could be set to fade in and out at different times, so that it gives some sort of twinkling effect. I think it would fit in with the theme of the level a lot better, especially on this block where it's really clustered and it just looks really weird. But I'm liking the varied structures. These are kind of similar to the ones before, but they're actually connected to the ground. These are made up of bricks. Also, I want to point out that these music notes are varied, so this is a singular one and this is a double one, which makes a bit of a change because the hearts in the background in the previous section were all the same, just reversed and flipped. These ground spikes are very inconsistent. If you like to change this, the ground and the ceiling could have custom borders that move up and down and kind of change the boundaries to save all of this space down here just being completely empty and awkward to fill. I just feel like it could kind of fix the issue of the level looking static still. This decoration is really interesting. I like these cut off rainbows. I think they look really nice. And these flowers are just really good. I like that it's got different shades and it looks like 3D textured. However, these could be improved a lot. For example, these rainbows, there's like 5 layers of colours, and they could all move into place on a layered movement, and I think it would look really satisfying if it just appeared on the screen one by one, and it would make it a bit more like in place, because currently this whole segment is flower deco, rainbow deco, and then the odd rain waterfall pattern. So yeah, these rainbows could kind of move onto the screen, and then also these flowers could be varied in colour instead of just being pink the whole time, and they could have stems, like in this section. These stems could have been taken and put onto the flowers with pulsing objects or something overlaying it, but I think it would tie this part in a lot better than just having floating flowers. I don't know, but I like that they rotate. That's nice. These gradient blocks, I don't know. I like the idea of it being patterned, with some being more opaque than others, but again I think these could be given different groups and made to twinkle like I said with the blocks in the other section. I don't know, it just looks a bit awkward them just being there without having any change in opacity. But I do like the block decos changed for the spike pillars. I do that in my own levels. And then these bricks look really nice. I don't know why these aren't continued throughout the entire part, because the leveling on this is really nice, and again it could do the twinkle thing. These clouds are just sort of here, and then these glow pieces don't really have much to them. There could be some movement, maybe move onto the screen or fade in or something. But yeah, the level just ends here. Big open space here. Nice logo, I really like that logo. And yeah, that's the end of the level. It's a pretty good level, although I have deconstructed it quite far. I do think that it's a good level. It may be low effort, however that doesn't mean it's a bad level. The transitions could do with some work instead of just being white screens that fade in and out. Maybe it could be a white screen of like 20 blocks long and each block moves onto the screen at different times, or some sort of nice slow easing transition instead of it just being a white fade, because it's reused like 3 or 4 times throughout the level. Even the ending uses this white screen. It's just kind of repetitive, although I do like that it's consistent. So yeah, that's that. I did comment on the level. Pretty cool, because it is pretty cool. It just has a lot of aspects that could be improved greatly. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be sure to do some more reviews soon, because I actually really like making this content, and I feel like it's something that I have a good idea about. So yeah, I'll see you in future review videos if you continue to watch this series.